How about try it again?
Chad.
Oh, better.
Was that better?
There we
Okay.
go. All right, cool. Ready and. With Ginger, we haven't seen you in a long time. Yo, JSPOT here. It's MaxOUT, August 19th, 2023. I'm here with my boy Thor.
What up?
Here with someone I don't know actually.
Yeah. Named Shirakoshi.
With Mr. Riles Barkley. With Zane. I'm here with the Dap VIP, big time gamer boy, rocking Kimberly, kick-ass Kimberly shirt. I'm here with Stiller03. What's the 03?
Just 3.
Stiller
Actually, I
3,
dropped it in bracket now, so it's just Stiller.
Hey Kong.
Hey, what's up? Where's the microwave?
Here with my own personal Justin Timberlake. This is Tunk. Very special somebody named Cups. Not
me,
just
man.
Cups, the real Cups.
The real cups.
The real Cups. What's your real name?
My real name is Joel.
No. What's
Oh, grilled cheese.
grilled cheese? Thor, what do you think of Street Fighter 6?
I think. Okay, let me come at this as someone who didn't like the way Street Fighter 6 looked when it was still in beta and everything. Had no desire to play the crack because I'm a good boy. I would never do that.
Oh, right, yeah.
None of us around here would do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was just not stoked for it at all. Then the game dropped, and I actually started playing it a little bit. It's extremely fun.
Oh,
I
boy.
don't understand when people tell me that they don't like this game because I'm not even that good at it, and I'm having a great time.
What do you think of Street Fighter 6?
Great. I love it. Game is really good. I've probably had the most fun with this game the last like 2.5 months than I had in like the last like 3 years of Street Fighter 5.
What do you think of Street Fighter 6?
Sick. I love it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you think of Street Fighter 6?
I like it a lot. I play Marissa.
Cups, are you playing Street Fighter 6?
No.
Oh, why not?
Cause man, I don't know. I just got a lot of stuff going on right now. Recent dad, all this other stuff, working,
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate.
These are all very good excuses.
Yeah.
What do you think of Street Fighter 6?
I think it's great,
Yeah?
especially when I won.
Oh, boy, yeah. What do you think of Street Fighter 6?
Now, to be honest, I was really playing down on Street Fighter 6 because for a second, I was thinking that it was just gonna be just a little bit of an extension of Street Fighter 5. But then after I figured out a lot of things from the previous games was gonna be put in Street Fighter 6, that there was gonna be a lot better flow.
Mm-hmm.
Dry parry, goodness,
Yeah.
just added a whole bunch of depth.
What do you think of Street Fighter 6?
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah?
I can't get my head around it.
Oh. What do you think of Street Fighter 6?
You know, it's pretty fun. I'm pretty impressed. It came out so good. I kind of ignored it while it was out and while the crack was going on, but once the beta happened in May, I was hooked. It was like super fun from the get-go.
So actually, your background, you got the Mortal Kombat background, you got the Marvel background. Is this, I mean, we talk about like, is this more appealing than Street Fighter 5, but is this more appealing than Street Fighter 4?
For me, yes. The one frame links are not my friend. Like I tried to play Rufus and like his main B&B was light kick into stand heavy punch and I couldn't do it. Literally couldn't do it. The game's definitely more welcoming. With there being 2 control styles, it's actually really nice because you can use classic if you're used to it, like if you're used to doing DPs, if you're used to doing core circle forwards, anything like that. But like for Smash players, for instance, or Marvel players, or because the way Modern is set up is really interesting because it's light, medium, heavy, special, which is literally how Marvel is set up.
Yeah.
And your character loses a few things, but the execution gap, like I play pad, doing a DP on pad is hard. Sometimes I would get level 1 super, and that literally does not happen anymore.
Dang. Hey, what do you think of Street Fighter 6?
Street Fighter 6, I love it, man. It's a great game.
No, but I mean, honestly, being here, it's made it a lot more interesting.
That's cool.
After
man.
watching some Marisa, she does big damage. I like that.
What are you thinking of Street Fighter 6?
It's so much fun.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's a blast to play.
Street Fighter 6, the game itself is very fluid, a lot more offense, a lot more options on defense as well. A lot of mind games going on, especially with the new mechanics with drive rush and driver impact. It gets a lot of people with the split-second decisions. And those are the type of things that I like out of fighting games, where you have to be quick on your feet and knowing what you want to do next. And Street Fighter 6 has that in spades.
How are you liking the game?
I love it. Yo, JSPOT here at MaxOUT. We're finally wrapping up all day long. Been rocking it with Robbie on commentary. Robbie been running the stream, doing amazing things, jumping hurdles over technology. I gotta ask, what do you think of Street Fighter 6?
Street Fighter 6 is a fantastic game. You know, a lot of people, when you ask them that question, their first response is, well, this is what it does so much better than Street Fighter 5. Yeah. Street Fighter 5 was necessary. It was important. It was needed. It's special. It had its time. And Street Fighter 6 is such a welcome addition to the FGC. And per usual, we say it all the time, not like we're trying to beat our chest, but when a new Street Fighter comes out, the world pays attention. The entire environment, the ecosystem of the FGC changes around a new Street Fighter game. And so far, it is more than exceeded those expectations and stayed with the course. So, great game, Ken rules.
What's your favorite mechanic in Street Fighter 6?
Ooh. You know what? I like playing Guile. I don't actually like playing lame Guile. I like playing aggressive up in your face Guile, but I really like drive reversal.
Reversal.
It's fun. It has just enough cost to feel worth it. There's enough risk that you can react to it and be punishable. Yeah. It's got plenty of situations that it applies to, so I like using it.
Very cool. What's your favorite mechanic?
Probably it'd be easy to say drive impact, right? But I eat drive impacts like they're Tic Tacs, man. So I guess honestly it's probably drive rush, because as a Zangief player, it's really fun that anytime I get a knockdown because of drive rush, as long as I got meter, I can keep the Oki party going, and it's just a fun mechanic to have.
What's your favorite mechanic?
My favorite mechanic in Street Fighter 6 is Ken.
Ken? What is your favorite mechanic in Street Fighter 6?
Probably, I would say, probably just like the drive gauge.
Ooh, yeah.
The drive mechanics. That, and also the way how punish counter works. It is cool since they kind of moved on from 5. Instead of having crush counters, they kind of fit that in there without also, revolving around that. That, and also that takes away button priority.
Oh yeah.
I hated button priority.
Button priority is worse.
It was such a pain.
It's absolutely the worst decision ever made.
Yep. But no, punish counters is great, because then you get the chance to do those really big, cool, flashy combos, and also with drive rush, drive impact, all that stuff is tight. Yeah.
Dang. Would you be interested in trying modern controls?
I think so, because as a Zangief player, there are matchups in this game that are so incredibly hard for me. If anyone goes back and watches the VOD from MaxOut today, watch me play Kong and see how that went.
That's rough.
It was not good at all.
That's tough.
So I was thinking about modern Luke, maybe.
Ooh, even a different character.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just something to cover the bad matchups. But I don't know. I mean, at the core, I'm a Zangief player. I play Street Fighter because I think Zangief's fun.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I'll just suffer through the bad matchup.
You exist online as the rest of us do, and you, sir, are extremely quick-witted, and you crack my shit up all the time.
Good.
With that,
thank you.
I feel like there's quite a bit of improvisational skills that exist within this glorious man named Tunk. What is it about Street Fighter 6's mechanics that seems to stifle you the most?
So there's just too much going on. In every comedy bit, you have to have a straight man, right? In every great comedy bit, there has to be a straight man. Someone has to be the normal guy that reminds you that these other 3 guys are doing some absurd stuff, right? I can't find the straight man. I don't know how to make sense of the basics of the game just yet, and I'm using just yet because I'm gonna keep at it. And I'm thinking it's gonna be a year till I'm ready. I can't don't really know the fundamentals as well as I need to, and I need to know those before I can improvise off them. if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Even though the game seems to be a bit much right now, which mechanic stands out as your favorite right now?
Parry's a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm gonna say drive impact actually. Even though like I'm hella free to it, like I'm the most free to drive impact out of like anyone in any room that I walk into. You know, I could be at the DMV, and like everyone there is reacting to drive impact before I do. But
Those people aren't aware.
like 70-year-old Bertha working the register is like, in your registration, she's reacting to drive impact faster than I am. But like, it's important at every level.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. It is something that like, just because it exists, it increases the mental stack for like everything else in the game. It makes just like and it's so simple too. It's one button. You get like 2 hits of armor. It gives you like some combos and shit off it. That's really it, you know. And then you just gotta react to it when it happens to you. That's it. That's drive impact. But like just the existence of such this simple mechanic makes the entire game so much more complicated. Because it's something that you have to think about while thinking about how far, you know, space and how far, you know, how far away you are from your character, how much meter they have, what's the frame data on the move I just got hit with, how much, you know, super meter do they have, can they kill me with this combo? Like there's, you know, all the things that go into Street Fighter, and like to think about all that and then say like, I'm gonna, you know, here comes another Jenga block on top of that that's what makes the game so hard. So.
Mechanic that stands out to me is Drive Rush. You may have already known this. Drive Rush allows you to start an instant dash towards your opponent, and then whatever button that comes out of that dash, it gives you 4 extra frames. And it's a tough mechanic to react to. It's something that a lot of players are still trying to get used to. And as I mentioned earlier, with the split-second decisions, Drive Rush is one of those things where, all right, if I see my opponent doing this, how am I going to react to it? And if you're doing it wrong, the consequences are heavy. So, but if you get it right, if you answer it right, then you get rewarded, and now you can start your offense. And so that's one of the mechanics that I enjoy out of Drive Rush.
What's your favorite mechanic?
I actually like Drive Impact the most, but if you watch me play, clearly it's Drive Rush.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
The character you play Jury, that kind of lends to the use of Drive Rush. I think it's more important that you get the big scale on a perfect parry, or that the super not being able to be scaled lower than 50% is better for Street Fighter 6.
Oh, that's a good question. As a Marissa player and as someone who loves damage, I would have to say the super scaling, because you can do picture DJ doing like 14 hits or 15 hits before he supers, and he still gets 50% of that damage. I mean, my raw level 3 does 4,000, and so the least amount I'm getting off of that is 2,000 extra damage is awesome.
Do you think that, man, that's a good point. Do you think that like helps incentivize going after it and spinning that meter?
I think so.
Like being more aggressive? Man, that's a good point.
My favorite, see, me as a first strike character, first strike person, adding the perfect parry was completely a new thing that I liked. I do like, and I also do like the World Tour mode. I do
World
like
Tour
that.
is fun. Yeah, it's fun.
It really is.
See, what I noticed is it seems like it's relatively easy to pick up, but it's just more situational, and getting your brain scrambled, that seems to be the thing that you kind of got to work past. But straight up, mechanics and execution doesn't seem to be that much of a barrier for, you know what I mean? For some of the tougher games, like if you're used to playing Exert, or if you're used to playing Street Fighter 4 or some of the other high execution kind of things, it doesn't seem like that much of a barrier, which is perfect, especially with modern controls. It's cool.
That's there too.
Favorite mechanic. So I play Honda, and he does really well without like trying to lean on the system mechanics, and that's kind of one of the reasons I started playing him. So I actually don't use the system mechanics as much as I should, but probably Drive Rush.
Drive Rush is cool.
Yeah.
Use it for pressure, not like kind of lock down.
Post knockdown most of the time, and then combos. Like if I look at my CFM breaks down like how you use your meter.
No way, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so you
dope.
can go look at like how often you do stuff, and mine's like 70% for damage.
Oh, that's cool. I need to
So
go
I'm
see what
like,
I use mine
combo
for.
extensions is like almost all I'm using it for.
Man.
Like my drive reversal is like 0.1% or something like that. Like,
Yeah, who uses that? Nobody uses that. Just block and get good.
My favorite mechanic is definitely drive impact, because a lot of people disregard drive impact as being scrubby or you spamming or whatever, and but my thing is, it feels really good when you hit it, and it feels really bad when you get hit by it. Either you get hit by it raw. When you hit somebody raw, you go, I overloaded that person and I did that to him. Or when you react to it, you go, my reactions are awesome. I smelled that coming a mile away. But when you do it raw and they do it back, you go, I am the stupidest human being known to man.
This is the biggest bullshit.
And whenever you get hit with it raw, you go, am I brain dead? Do I have no ability to tie my own shoes?
Yeah.
So that's why I think, it very much encapsulates the highs and the very, very lows. And as we saw Evo, very rarely used at the highest level.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody thought it was just going to be a drive impact spam fest. I say everybody, I talk like the general scrub population on Twitter and the internet.
The general populace.
So that's why I think I like all the mechanics in Street Fighter 6, but I think drive impact stands out the most as like, this was that it factor where a casual sees it, they go, whoa, the slowdown, right?
Slow down the paint.
When a high level player does it, they say that was a conditioning or a hard read or something, or a great reaction. So I think it really is that kind of it factor that they wanted to try to get with crush counter and B trigger combos. So
My favorite mechanic, drive gauge, hands down. I think it's the smartest thing that's come out in a Street Fighter in a while.
What's your favorite part of the drive gauge?
It's the decisions that you make and how much it affects decision making. Like, if you can get somebody below 3, I was just talking about to Nick Sharko about this. If you get someone to below 3, you take away so many options of theirs, and they have to get above 3, because if you drive rush, you're burnt out.
Right.
And if you don't get that mix up,
you're at disadvantage.
You're milked.
Yeah, you're milked. You
You're
done been milked.
You done been milked.
You've been milked. It don't matter if you have nipples or not. You've been milked.
Exactly. And being able to influence the game that way through such a simple thing as drive gauge, 6 bars.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is, 6 bars.
Yeah.
And all the things that you can do with it and express yourself with it, like you can see Endgamer, who played Jury in top 8.
Mm-hmm.
He played very differently from I did.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's fun. Like even Basita, the way that he uses drive gauge, because we have 2 strong Kens here in Redifer and Robbie.
Yeah.
And just being able to just see a character and be like, oh, that's a Robbie Ken, that's a Redifer Ken, that's a Basita Ken, and I think that's so cool.
That's really cool, and it's all around that drive gauge.
Yeah, it's all around that drive gauge.
That's very cool.
And then that leaves super then, because then that's also another decision. Like you have 3 supers, how do you spend it?
Right. Man.
Yeah, because when I first started, I thought level 1 was the way.
Oh.
Level 1.
To always have stuff on board.
Always have stuff on board, because then I'm taking their drive gauge, I'm getting my back. Oh, of course they nerfed it where if you're doing your level 1 in certain combos, you're not getting your drive gauge back. And and then for a while I was like, oh, I'm just gonna save it for level 3. I'm gonna make my 3rd round so dangerous that my above average whiff punishing.
Mm-hmm.
If you whiff something, you're gonna get level 3 and it's gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt real bad.
Yeah, but now as you can see, in the top 8, I'm feng shui engine.
Feng shuiing and making situations.
Making more situations, because so it's just like thinking about that. Somebody might not have my journey and be like, no, I'm just gonna save for level 3, or I'm gonna save for level 1.
Right.
Yeah. Or level 2. So I think that decision making, decoupling ODs, OD EX moves from the super bar, such a smart. That's probably my number 2.
Wow. Do you think that math is something that we are still discovering, or if it's something that we're creating?
It's a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B. It depends on the application. Because then there are certain circumstances where we still have to invent new ways to calculate stuff, but there are also at the same time instances where we find something new that we didn't think to ever like investigate before. It's kind of like how science works, right? We make hypotheses about the way things should work, but also we just randomly find stuff that just happens to like, oh crap, right?
Yeah. You can cuss, it's fine.
Making sure.
Yeah, we're good. Oh shit, that's what he said.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
No edits. Do you think that math is something that humans created or that we're discovering?
Oh, I think it's always been here, but yeah, it's something that people are discovering, I guess.
Would you be interested in watching wrestling next Sunday?
Yes, I would be interested in watching wrestling next Sunday.
Do you think that math is something that humans created or are discovering?
I think humans created math. I do not think that math is not something that anyone can just discover. I don't think. I think you have to create.
Do you think we as humans created math or discovered math?
Like methamphetamines or mathematics?
Mathematics.
What do you mean by math?
Like mathematics. Did we create that, or is it something we're discovering?
You know, I'd say it's something you discover. Like, there's only, like fighting games, there's only so much, like, your brain can get pushed to playing these games before you just kind of cross the limit. You know, it's a phrase my old cross-country coach used to say, there's a whole world beyond pain. So it's something like that. Like, you're playing fighting games, like, you're trying to think of different ways to overcome mental blocks and anxieties and all that stuff when you're playing against another person. And, we saw with Dapp's run in the losers finals, he overcame a lot of those.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Put on a really incredible performance for a lot of people.
I think it's something that we're like discovering in a sense because when you look around in just the world on its own, everything is like math. There's like the Fibonacci sequence. You see it in flowers and stuff.
Yeah.
And with that, it's just fascinating that really math is just all around us. I mean, when you play Street Fighter, math is like the very thing. When you play fighting games in general, you're playing a math game. It's like a very sophisticated math game.
That's very cool.
Math?
Yeah.
To me, I think it's how we make sense of the world. So it is something that we're discovering.
Ooh. Cups is leaving.
Cups is leaving.
Goodbye, Cups.
Goodbye, Cups. Love that dude.
Humans are wired to look for patterns in everything, even when they're not there. We happen to find the ones that are there, and that became mathematics. So, and people just built on generational knowledge over and over and over millennia.
Like math?
Like math, yeah.
When you like just math in general, like
addition, subtraction.
Okay.
Quantum physics.
Oh, like
generic golden rule, pi.
Oh,
Is
God.
that something that we're constantly discovering and we're like, oh, we're figuring it out, or is it something that we're creating and saying like, this is how numbers work and this is how we can do different with numbers?
Weirdly, both actually. So I think that that there are people who create, because obviously like Albert Einstein found the theory of relativity, but then they build off of that and learn new things off of that. So I feel like it's kind of both. Like someone finds something and then you kind of build off of that finding and go from there.
Man,
Would it math?
Math, yeah, mathematics.
Oh, well, I mean, whenever you're putting like variables and attachments to stuff like that, you're trying to quantify something that's very nebulous, like trying to put numbers and stuff like that to things that are happening in the universe. It's kind of tough. You know what I mean? But, yeah, I don't know.
So humans invented how to. So they didn't invent math because math is like, I don't know, like counting kind of. So, but we invented a system to represent that like on paper. You know what I mean?
That's cool. Speaking of the highs and the lows, right? The gap, the numerical averages. Do you think that math is something that humans are discovering, or something that we created, or are creating?
I think that math is something that is a part of a conscious nature. What I mean by that is, if I am a human fresh out of the goop, I need to find shelter and I need to find food. Now, if I eat one apple and I go, I am not sated. I don't have enough nutrients in me to continue to hunt and find shelter, then I'm going to need 2 apples. So I'm going to generally gravitate to the more I have, the more I am more likely to survive. The more sticks I find, the sturdier shelter I have. 1 stick versus 10. Then I start to see the value in, I need every piece of thatch has to be 5 down here and 6 across the top. So now I'm doing addition that way. So I think math is a natural part of existence.
In that, you really led towards consumerism, the natural category of things. That being said, you just came out of the coop. You are a feeble human in the cave. When you emerge, you see a giant lion. Across from you, other survivors.
I didn't even see where you were going with this.
A stone,
yes,
and you can see lion's testicles. What do you do?
So it's one thing to understand the value of having 2 apples. It's another thing to understand now the scarcity of 1 sharp rock. And by that means that this sharp rock is the difference between you living and you dying. Now you all of a sudden you have a value for scarcity and an appreciation for quantity and lack thereof.
Who do you think should be added to the game?
Who do? Fei Long.
Fei Long.
Fei
Oh,
Long.
obviously,
I wanted Fei Long since Street Fighter V.
Yeah.
If he was in there, I would have played him.
Yeah.
But I think he's gonna come back in 6. It's overdue.
Word. Rekka characters need
Yeah,
to play.
exactly,
Rekka
exactly.
characters need a home.
Exactly. There was no Rekka characters in Street Fighter V.
Right.
There is a Rekka character in Street Fighter 6 in Jamie.
Correct.
So there is hope.
Crimson Viper.
Oh yeah.
Sagat.
Yeah.
Claw.
Oh, Vega?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vega. I'm not looking forward to Akuma coming out.
Oh.
Just because I have a terrible track record against Akuma.
Dang.
But yeah, those 3 probably the big ones.
Well, I used to joke all the time that I really wanted to put Ken in Street Fighter V because I felt like he was basically absent after season 2. What character would I want to see? You know, I can't think of a single character because I mean I'm lucky. My character has been in literally every single Street Fighter game ever to come out. I'm not really like a fan of like these like deep dive lore characters or anything. Actually, I was gonna say I hope every character comes out because I feel I can't. I was talking to InGamer about this. Is I can't think of a single Street Fighter character in the franchise that doesn't fit into 6's system.
Sure.
And the devs had said during Street Fighter V that they had pivoted because they were coming out with all that splash art for all these random characters. They're like, oh no, these were all supposed to be in the game.
Whoa.
They wanted like the entire Street Fighter franchise to fit into 5.
Wow.
But they were like, the game is not panning out to what it is. We need to move on. Blah blah blah. So like, we were supposed to get Abigail and Hugo and Andre.
Whoa. Or Ondor.
Yeah. So like that was I was like, wow, that would be crazy if you got to because it's one thing Marvel vs. Capcom, right? It's like 60 characters or whatever versus game 60 characters.
Yeah.
But to have a Street Fighter game where there was like 70 characters would be crazy. So I think if Rashid is any indication of what is to come, I think every character is going to have this really cool, different polish. They might not be super good, but I feel like it's hard. When all of a sudden, it's one thing in Street Fighter V where this character has a +3 button. No matter what, they always have a +3 button. In fact, when they do it media, it's even more plus. But now you can kind of give characters whatever frame data you want because you can make it as bad or as good as you want it if you want to spend a resource. So it's like in that case, let's look at the weakest Street Fighter character in Street Fighter V, which is arguably Fong. If Fong had Drive Rush, as he is now in 5, he would be fucking amazing in Street Fighter 6.
Right, yeah.
All he needs is Drive Rush. Or it's like, well, what could Fong not deal with? Well, he couldn't deal with people locking him down. Well, now he has Drive In.
Right.
Or now he has 3 different supers, and this one goes through this, and this one goes through that. So, final answer, go Ken.
Love it.
Oh. Now, other than my main dude Akuma, who has been confirmed already.
Right.
He's gonna be a whole another year.
Yeah.
See, I actually want Makoto to come back and possibly Sakura.
Oh, I'd be in for both of those. That's cool. How about any hopeful characters to come?
Well, we know I was a big fan of Ed in 5 as well, so I'm really excited for Ed to come out. But I don't know, Akuma could always add something interesting, and things that are on the horizon. I'm not really quite sure. I don't know if we'll see like El Fuerte again, but I'd like to see like kind of a reimagining of his kind of skill set and stuff like that. Yeah.
If it happens, I'm in, right?
Yeah, I'm always a big fan of the ones like the niche characters that they bring in from like Street Fighter 1, like somebody's butler and all that stuff is kind of cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
that's really neat.
yeah, so that's always the things that I'm excited to see. But like as for things that I've liked in the past that would show up, you know, maybe something like Necro, but then we'd have 2 limb characters or something like that would be kind of cool. But just stylistically, I'd love to see Necro just in modern stuff would be really cool.
Third Strike characters are just
Swagged out.
Top of the team.
Yeah,
Top of
swagged
the
out.
team. Who would you like to be added in Street Fighter 6?
Johnny from Guilty Gear.
Sean.
Oh.
I think Sean would be pretty cool in this game. I kind of like the pseudo Shoto type character, and I mean maybe he'd have a fireball this time, or maybe not. You know,
he should be older, right?
Oh yeah. I mean if he's still training, then
Right.
hopefully that, or I don't know what other character I think would be cool in this game. Maybe Alex, because I played Alex in 5. Grapplers are kind of
it in this game.
They're kind of they got some sauce in this game, so I think Alex could be pretty tight in this game.
Very cool.
Yep.
Character that should come to Street Fighter 6 is Sean. I was a huge fan of Sean in Third Strike or Second Impact or whatever, whenever he was good. But yeah, I feel like a disciple of Ken who plays basketball, I thought was pretty cool. You know, and I think he brings a nice flavor to the game as well, like a new version of a Shoto. As you can see right now with Ryu and Ken, basically 2 completely different characters.
Oh yeah.
Right, and then Akuma's coming in, and I cannot wait to see what Capcom does with him. So, I mean, I would like to see interesting, like what changes will they make with Sean if they brought him back for Street Fighter 6.
So, as a Third Strike player, who'd you play?
Now, I have played Akuma as a Third Strike player. I also did play Makoto at the time.
Cool. Right. What character are you playing in Street Fighter?
So I'm playing Zangief. I've been a Zangief guy almost since the beginning of when I started playing Street Fighter. I actually played Ken when I first started playing Street Fighter 4. And then I remember someone brought a pad in one day because I was always playing on stick. And they were like, hey man, there's really good Zangief players that play on one of these. It's like, it wasn't just like a regular pad, it was like the actual fight pad things. He's like, yeah, because you can do a 360 really easy on these. So I started doing it for a little bit, and I was like, yeah, this is kind of fun. It's like way different than Ken, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I played on pad beyond that day, but I kept playing Zangief, and it's been Zangief ever since.
Very cool. Now, today you played extremely well. You guys can check out the VOD at YouTube/team_KC. In the last match that you had, the last 2 matches you had, you were what looked like a different player. Tell me, what was it that clicked or changed? What clicked over to unlock that Shin Dap?
So I think what clicked for me is just that I just wanted to play the best of my abilities. I know earlier during the tournament, I didn't feel like I was doing well. I didn't think that I was playing as good as I possibly can. And I wanted to prove to myself more than anyone else that I can do better, I can be better. And I think that's what awoken the Shin Dap is that, you know what, as long as I play good, as long as I play, you know, within my strengths and understand what I need to accomplish to win and to achieve that goal, I feel like I can win. And I'm happy that I made it all the way back from losing pretty early. I am a little discouraged that I didn't win the whole tournament. However, I'm not discouraged enough where I'm going to give up. I'm going to, you know, keep practicing, keep getting better, keep improving. I'm going to go back and watch the videos of playing finals and see what I can do to, you know, be better, because I know I can be better.
Would you be interested in coming over to my house and watching wrestling next Sunday?
Next Sunday, I have family in town.
Would you be interested in paying $100 to go to a live wrestling show?
Of course. You know me.
Okay.
I love live events.
Who should Will Ospreay actually fight at All In?
Oh, okay. Man, that's a good question. I would say if Bryan Danielson's arm wasn't actually broken, if this is a work, that match would be awesome. That's what I would want to see.
Oh man, do you think we're gonna see Edge at All In?
No. I would like the answer to that to be yes, but I don't think
it's
so.
gonna happen either.
I do think he will at some point.
Eventually,
but
save it.
They
Double
want
or nothing.
They want that to coincide with Christian, I'm sure.
Right.
And he's
Christian's
kind of
too busy.
He's doing something
You're
now.
right. You're right. You're right. If you were to jump in Street Fighter 6, what character do you think you're gonna gravitate to?
Well, I played Ken at the beginning of 5, and I've always kind of had like a natural affinity towards Ken. But yeah, from what I saw here at the tournament, what I've seen, from Evo and stuff like that, Ken, Marisa, and DJ look the most interesting to me right now. So
watching you play was really cool. Like you said, your jury was very different than the other juries that we saw come up on screen.
Right.
Talking to Blake and having Blake on commentary, he was like, whenever things go poorly, another jury asks him, "Oh, did you drive rush? Do you find drive rush to be like something you can get heavily punished for?"
I think we're at a stage in the game where people have not trained against drive rush. I think yes, you can get heavily punished for drive rush, but again, like dashing in Street Fighter 5, you gotta know when to use it, and you have to represent it. It's an option. It's really strong. Some characters are really strong drive rushes, and you can't, just throw that away. But again, as more people get more used to checking them, I think it's gonna tone down a little bit. But now at the stage of this game, people are just learning their characters, learning their combos, learning their setups. That they haven't had time to drill, checking drive rushes. And I think that comes after learning your character.
Wow. Damn, I had another question and now I lost it. So I can't scale.
Yeah.
So,
I will say just one thing about Street Fighter in general is it's not even if execution is your issue, but switching to modern has made me pay attention more to the game and like what the other player is doing as opposed to what I'm trying to do, which is really, really nice because I know actually you taught me in the Street Fighter 4 days that I should pay more attention to what the other character is doing, not what I am doing.
Right.
And I feel like I would always switch between that. And now with modern, I know exactly what I'm doing. I know what my character is going to do. I don't have to worry about spacing or anything like that. I'm paying attention to them and trying to react on what they're doing.
Yeah.
And even as Marisa, I know she's very like gorilla mode, very unga, but like playing a reactionary, hitting a crouch medium punch and a drive rush, and then hitting the big old fierce, it's awesome.
To go kind of double down on that, like the whole idea of like you should pay attention to the other character is when you're training at home, you should get good enough and rely on yourself enough to feel confident enough that you don't have to worry about like I need to try to hit this thing.
Right.
And then going back to like you said, playing Rufus in the one frame links, that's not here now, so it is a lot easier. Going to modern, even again, right? You're only worried about making the right decisions.
Yeah.
And worried about like, oh, JP has EX amnesia on board.
Right.
Right. And like so treating the situation better.
Yeah, if you are a player and you feel like your footsies are good and your neutral is good and you keep dropping combos, try modern. Try modern. I know people like to give it crap. The 20% damage scaling on modern buttons is not that big of a deal. It really isn't, because that just means you're doing 800 instead of 1,000.
Yeah.
That's all it means.
Yeah, really not that bad.
No.
And there's many reasons you will want to play Ken if you're a Ryu man.
Sure.
I would like to say that coming to Street Fighter from Street Fighter 5, like my problems that I had in Street Fighter 5 seemed to manifest themselves like very quickly. But it was nice to notice that. I guess that's kind of what I meant by having the fundamentals. You know what I'm saying?
You mean like bad habits, or?
Yeah, my bad habits and the things that I was already working on. Like I used to miss anti-airs a ton in Street Fighter 5, and it was like that. That became a reason I was losing games like very quickly. You know what I'm saying? So I noticed my problems, like having a fresh look at things, like gives you a new look at like what you need to work on, and also some fresh motivation to do it. So yeah.
Cool.
That was pretty cool.
I can echo that. All my bad habits are still here, and they're on blast. Well, cool, man. Thanks for talking. Which character are you playing right now? Guile.
Yeah.
What's like? So in Street Fighter 6, they kind of shaked everybody up. We made sure they had everything. What's that thing about Guile in Street Fighter 6 that you like the most?
I like just his blockchain pressure. Like I like just doing different mix-up out of different normals and command normals and stuff like that, I feel like I have a really good grasp on just the charge execution for him. And it helps that this game he has relatively lenient charge execution. Like you can get off those Sonic Hurricanes and crossfire somersaults without too much hassle. So
Hey Jackie, get out of here.
Really?
I'm really excited that people are back into Street Fighter. We got a lot of people coming out. We've seen a lot of people who haven't been around. Is there anyone you've been surprised to see come out?
Ooh, so just today, I don't know what order you're going to show these interviews or what you're doing with them, but Cups being here today was awesome. I mean, he said he's not playing the game, which is a shame, but just seeing that dude again, I mean, he pointed out it's legitimately been since season 1 of Street Fighter V since I'd seen that guy, which is 7 years ago. So
Damn,
crazy.
Time flies.
Yeah.
Do you think? Or who do you think would win in a fight between Lily and Eddie Guerrero?
I mean, Eddie's bigger, like in real life, you know, he's much bigger.
Do you think that who would win between Abigail and who would win between T-Hawk and Lily?
Probably T-Hawk. I mean, she's so small.
Size is that important to you?
Like, man, I have trouble thinking that Lily's actually going to be able to like swing Zangief around like she does in her super, you know what I mean?
Even though it's in the game, I'm not sure it's going to work.
Yeah, like, if they were real people in real life, I was like, nah. She's
sound
probably
like,
going to pull a muscle.
Sound like you're pretty grounded in reality.
Deal with it.
Last one for you, deepest one that I could come up with.
Okay.
Get ready.
I'm ready.
What's it like living with Hell Fuerte?
Ooh, okay. Living with him, it makes every day a little bit more fun, I gotta say, because we like to compare the way we live to being kind of like the Birdhouse, right? Like Big Bird and Angry Bird. We're a little bit better than those guys, but
well, yeah,
you know, like I'll just go hang out down in Kyle's little cave. He's in the basement of my house, and we don't even like play each other. It'll just be like one of us is playing, the other one's sitting on the couch watching, and like we'll be like, hey, what if you did this right there instead of what you just did? And we'll be like, huh, yeah, I'll try it. And then like maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but it's like it kind of just helps us
That's cool.
stay fresh playing the game.
Process,
And, exactly.
Yeah,
and
that's
just
cool.
I think that the reason I like it so much is it makes me feel like when I was first learning Street Fighter 4 again.
Oh yeah.
And it's like it just makes it so much more fun.
That's cool. This has been JSPOT and Stiller hanging out. We'll give you a shout out. You've been getting better and better and better. You're super solid. Keep it up. I'm happy to have you.
Appreciate that.
Cool, man. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zane, thank you very much.
all right, thanks, John.
Well, Tunk, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
Bad for you. Thank you. Riles Barkley. Thank you for food.
Absolutely.
Oh, that hurt
was
too much.
There you go.
There, that's better. All right, later.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a new mustache, or have you always had that?
You know, the mustache.
This has been Kong. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations
Thank
today.
you.
Good
Thank
fucking
you.
work. You've done amazing work here today.
Thank you.
You've overcome incredible technology odds. That is very impressive. And on top of that, it was extremely fun doing commentary with you.
It always is.
Dude.
I feel like the technical challenges were like, man, I don't feel like we overcame. I feel like I just kind of slowly got punched. And it was a battle all day. And then at the end, they walked away, and we like both agreed, no more punches.
No more punches.
No more punches. The graphics card is like, stop messing with my settings, and I'm like, stop freezing my stream. We're like both like, you know, we both agree we didn't hear no bell, but we don't want no part
I feel
of
like
it.
at the very end, it finally started working right.
Yeah.
You out of here? Good seeing you, man. Good seeing you.
Later.
Later. Do you have anything to say to the people who didn't make it out tonight?
You're a bunch of bums.
You heard it here first. Thank you, Mr. Tunk.
You know who you are. Oh. So there's two. I want to, because I don't want to say like, I don't want to like some new player to hear that and be like, you call me a bum, and you know, and just never come out and be discouraged. There's people that feel like I'm not ready. You're ready.
Yeah.
We had a guy here. It was his first time playing the game today.
Oh wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. He signed up for like Street Fighter and Guilty Gear.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I did double take when he told me that. I'm like, well, you mean it's your first tournament? It's like, no, it's my first time playing the game.
Whoa.
So, and I told him about the top of the shop, and then we come out every day on Thursdays, and I hope he comes. It'd be awesome if he showed up.
That would be cool.
I hope he practices at home, buys the game and practices at home. Otherwise, he might not get very far. But don't think like you need to get to like gold, or like you need to hit a BNB once or whatever bullshit like before you need to come out and like come to locals. Come, we'll help you, and like we'll teach you. I know I personally like my absolute favorite thing is teaching new players about anything. That's part of the reason I'm trying to get good at this game, is so that I can teach people more, because that's more fun to me than playing it. Personally.
That's cool.
Yeah. But come, we'll help you, we'll grow together, because it's fun to watch you grow, and it's fun to grow with you. So we want you here. So to those that do know how to play the game and just didn't feel like coming out because they'd rather sit at their computer at home today, you're a bum.
You're a bum.
So
big old bum.
Quit being a bum.
Big bum. Riley, did you know people are calling you Barkley now?
That's what I heard.
It's
It's
the
kind of
weirdest shit.
it is kind of weird to me, but
Dude was like, Barkley's really nice, and I was like, who the fuck is Barkley? Have for you today. Thank you very much.
All right.
We're here at MaxOUT, and you should have been too. Are you into classic baseball, like old school baseball?
Not really.
Oh, okay. Just cool.
I'm into the idea of baseball.
Oh, okay. What do you think of Shohei Ohtani hitting a grand slam and still losing the game?
That is
That was
the old joke is like because there was like some tweet like a long ass time ago about like every Angels game is like Shohei Ohtani hasn't done something since like Tungsten Armo Doyle did it in 1901, and Mike Trout hit like 3 grand slams, and the Angels lose like 13-12. it's like every Angels feat. So, but no, he's insane.
Yeah,
he's crazy.
amazing.
He's a crazy freak. I love watching him.
Well, man, thank you. Thanks for making it
Yeah.
out. Good to see you.
Yeah,
again.
good to see you, dude.
We'll see you later.
Yep.
Do you have anything for the people who might be going out to check out those VODs?
I would say that, yeah, man, if you saw this tournament and if you saw what you liked and you want to, you think you can do it, go for it, Don't let fear hold you back. Don't let fear ever dictate or determine your decision making. Like if you just have a belief in yourself that, hey, I can actually, pull this combo off, or I can actually compete, place high in a tournament and stuff like that, then go for it. There's nothing holding you back except yourself. And so that's one thing that I hope a lot of people take out of that, is that a lot of us, started playing fighting games with Street Fighter 6. So, and then there's some people that it'll just click right away, and there's some people that, they struggle with at the beginning. I'm actually one of the later, I struggled with Street Fighter 6 when it first came out, and I just slowly got better as the time progressed. So
I love grilled cheese. What's your favorite cheese on a grilled cheese?
Honestly, American. Like you can't go wrong. It's like either American or you gotta like do multiple kinds of good cheese. And that's where it's at.
You like a Gouda cheese?
Yeah.
Like a Munster cheese?
Yeah.
Yeah, you put like
Maybe
a
a
Havarti,
Swiss.
throw a Swiss in there.
Yeah.
Getting something hard. You ever try like a Parmesan? Try and melt the Parmesan in there?
I don't know if I tried Parmesan, but
What's your thought on shaker cheese?
shaker cheese.
Yeah,
is
like Parmesan or like
in a
dusty
tub.
cheese. Yeah, in a tub cheese.
It's good in a tub.
You wouldn't put it in a grilled cheese?
I mean, I'd give it a shot.
We should sprinkle it on top like it's French toast.
I'll try just about any kind of cheese in the grilled cheese.
Well, man, thank you.
Absolutely.
I mean it. Thank you.
Anytime.
Thank you.
You know I'm here
Thank
for you.
Hey, what are you doing next Sunday?
I'll be watching AEW Presents All In live from London, England.
Fancy London town. Thank you. Thank you. Well, cool.
Yeah.
I don't have any other questions.
Yeah,
Very, very
so-
rare. Not, I shouldn't say excuses. Reasons. Very
Reasons.
good reasons.
Yeah.
Because I found the reason
What's that?
in you.
Oh, it's a little
Or
hoobastank.
something.
Little hoobastank.
Yeah,
Little
I lost
hoobastank.
it.
Okay, I got
I
it.
needed to say me or something.
I don't.
Anyway.
You're not a perfect person, so
No.
it's okay.
many things I shouldn't do. Robbie, thank you very much.
Thank you, JSPOT. And this guy did a great job running interviews all day and adding a little bit of extra fun and flair to the event.
Thanks.
So you can't just, you just don't get that everywhere. You can't just find somebody who's willing to say like, let's do cool side interviews. And I saw you interviewing players that normally don't feel like maybe they get a little bit of spotlight, and you provided that stage. Really fucking important. So thank you for doing that.
Well, thank you for allowing me to do that.
For $25.99, you can have your own vintage MaxOUT t-shirt.
We got to get this back online. All right, out of the vault. Thanks. What's up, man? How you been?
Been pretty good.
That's cool.
Been pretty good.
Man, we'll see
I
how many
love
seconds I
live
get.
events.
It's $100.
$100. Well, I don't know if you know this, but
What?
I just took the Army's money.
Oh my God, the Army.
The Army.
So dumb.
The Army.
You took
Your
their money.
tax
You're
money.
So stupid. Kong took it.
Tax
He's a
money.
doctor. Jeez.